What's going on, people? Welcome back to Premsy TV. I hope everybody is blessed. We have a massive clash tomorrow at the Emirates with Newcastle United travelling down in high spirits. But just before we get into the video, make sure you smash a like on this video as it helps push the content out massively. And we're trying to reach new heights on the channel. I want the channel to grow and I want the community to grow the channel with me, people. But look, let's get straight into it, yeah. It's not going to be an easy task against Newcastle because we know Newcastle have been a different outfit this season. Since Eddie Howe's took over, they've been unbelievable. You got to give them credit. And I'm going to touch on Newcastle first of all, yeah, because what Eddie Howe has done with this Newcastle side is second to none. The guy has improved players that are currently in the team that he hasn't purchased. He's went out there and he's brought smartly. You get me? He's integrated these players into his kind of system, which, you know, being a young manager, somebody who's been sacked before, it was a tall order to come in. But with the money that they've got now, with the people up in the board that are wanting to do well and succeed at that club, you got to take your hat off to them and give them massive praise, because Newcastle fans, as we know, have been suffering for a long time under Mike Ashley. And for me, I feel like they deserve a little bit of success. They deserve some happiness. Being an Arsenal fan myself, and everyone that's watching, we all know we were suffering for 18 years. Yeah, we were winning the odd FA Cup here, but they're not the heights that Arsenal need to be at. Arsenal need to be right at the top of the tree, just like we are right now. But going into the game, I have got confidence because the way we've been playing, untouchable. I'm telling you, we're 7 points clear at the top of the table at the moment. And like I mentioned on my post-match review, if I asked any Arsenal fan, you know, we're going to be 7 points clear come the new year, 2023, everybody would have probably laughed and thought, nah, that's not the case. But we got to give Mikel Arteta massive credit. We got to give this Arsenal side massive credit. You know, we got all the bad eggs out. And the boys that are here, you can see they wear the heart on the sleeve. They want to play for this badge. And the most important of all, you can see that they believe. You get me? You can see that these boys believe. Now, with Newcastle, obviously, the last result, they drew against Leeds at home. Maybe that could burst their bubble a little bit. But it's going to be a tall order. You get me? We can't take this lightly, this game, because with the run of fixtures that we've got coming up, we have to capitalise. Just like we've seen against Brighton, Arsenal capitalising, we have to go on and capitalise because it's massive. We can create a 12-point gap between ourselves and third spot in Newcastle, which if that's something that we can do, happy days. Absolute happy days. Big up Osman in the chat. I think Newcastle will beat us, to be honest. I'm terrified about the next 3 fixtures, hence why I feel uncomfortable by all of this title talk too soon. You know what, yeah? If I was you, bro, there's nothing to be worried about. You get me? This is time for us to start showing some faith and belief in our boys, because every time a test has been thrown at us, we've been answering it. You get me? When that door's getting knocked, we're opening up and we're answering it. You get me? So don't be worried. You get me? Newcastle are going to be without one of their key players in this game in Kieran Trippier. You get me? So we all know what he gives to Newcastle and the quality that he has, especially on set pieces and stuff like that. So I wouldn't be too worried. Big up to yourself. Is Mudryk coming? You know what? There's loads of reports branding around about Mudryk. We will touch on him a little bit later on in the video, but the signs are there. It's looking positive. Big up, big up, big up. So we just got to just take this game. And like I said, we got to just take every game as it comes. We can't be just looking at, you know, we got Tottenham and United next. Yeah, they are going to be on the forefront of our minds. But the most important thing is Newcastle. Let's deal with this task first, because they're coming to the Emirates. The Emirates has been a fortress this season. 30 points out of 30 at the Emirates. It's unseen. You get me? And to be fair, we do normally have a good record at the Emirates over recent years as well. It's just the away form that's been kind of letting us down. But this season, we've switched it all up. You get me? The away form is good. The home form is beautiful. You get me? I love seeing the way the Arsenal has transformed. You get me? The fans, the Ashburton Army, pre-match build-up at the Emirates. It's totally different. We haven't had this feel for a very long time. And this is what sitting at the top of the table does for you. When you're sitting at the top of the table, you can then start creating some belief. And that belief then starts going into the players. The mentality starts changing. When you start winning game after game after game, the boys there, they only start to know one thing, and that's to win games. Look, we've only been beaten by Manchester United this season. And that game at Old Trafford, let me tell you now, for me, United were very fortunate in getting that victory. We didn't have Thomas Partey in the team, and that was a big factor. But now Thomas Partey, it looks like I don't even want to say it, you get me? But it looks like his injuries are gone past now, and he's getting a good run into the team. And that midfield trio of Odegaard, Granit Xhaka, who stepped up massively this season, and Thomas Partey, they're a force to be reckoned with this season. They're an absolute force to be reckoned with. I want this Mudryk so bad. LOL, big up Premsy, big up to yourself. You know what? We definitely need to be getting these signings in, and we need to be getting these signings in fast. But if he comes in, happy days. Obviously, we got Arsenal fans that are agents. Arsenal fans are too funny, to be honest with you. You get me? I'll pull up something in a little minute and show you what I'm talking about. But it looks like personal terms have been agreed with Mudryk on a 5-year deal. Obviously, an improved offer, I think just shy of 70 million euros has gone into Shakhtar Donetsk. So hopefully we're looking confident in trying to sign that deal. I think the most important part is for Shakhtar is the upfront payment. Now, if we don't want to fuck around and we want to get these players through the door, especially in the position that we are in and trying to capitalize, we have to go out there and just put the money on the table. Because in recent times, we've always been penny pinching. We've been, humming and hawing over certain deals. For example, the Luis Suarez one, where we give 40 million and a pound on an absolute joke thing. Them kind of times have gone now, and we can see a total different Arsenal coming to fruition. So I'm confident. I'm confident that deal will get done. Let's just do what we have to do. Simple, 100%. You get me? We have to go into that game full of confidence, full of belief, because there's no reason not to. Yeah, Newcastle are a good side. They have been one of the best sides throughout 2022 since Eddie Howe's took over. They've collected a lot of points, you get me, from the position that they were in. And their rebuild has been rapid. You get me? Their rebuild has actually been rapid. So, like I said, you got to give them massive credit. Eddie going to score next match. You know what? Eddie Nketiah, yeah, this guy, yeah, is making everybody change their thoughts and opinions about him, because since he's come into this team, you get me, starting playing with them first teamers, he's been second to none. He's been unbelievable. You get me? He's altered his game. He's dropping back into deeper positions, picking up the ball, trying to make things happen, integrate with the midfield. And he's not just staying in the box looking to poke a goal away, which is massive, because when you can see players that are starting to alter the game and adapt to the system, that's exactly what you want, because they're team players. They're players that are not just thinking about themselves and being selfish. So big up to Eddie Nketiah. Hopefully he scores a hat-trick, you get me, or does something mad, because he deserves it. You get me? The effort that he's been putting in is just coming straight through. And look, I'm guilty of it. I was one of them fans that were literally looking at Eddie Nketiah thinking, you know what, I haven't really got confidence in this guy. Is he going to come in and fill the boots of Gabriel Jesus? But he's proving me wrong at the moment. He's proving many Arsenal fans wrong at the moment. And we can only just believe in him. You get me? But make sure you're smashing a like on this video when you enter, my people. You get me? Make sure you're doing that, because it helps push the content out. And we're trying to get to higher heights and reach out to a newer audience as well. Some people might not know that Premsy TV is about live and kicking, and they need to get to know, because this is where you're going to hear the rawness, the realness, and man just says it exactly as it is. If you've been following me from AFTV, you've been following me since the start of this channel, you know, man just says it exactly as it is. No agendas, no nothing. I'm there to change my opinion. If I'm wrong, I'll put my hands up and say I'm wrong, because that's what football's all about. It's about opinions. Super Mikel Arteta. It's annoying how Saka and Saliba need to be cautious for the next 4 games, because if they get a yellow, then they miss a game. Also, the Oxford game does not count, so they can't miss that one. You know what? That's something that I was trying to look into, because over, history, if you did get a yellow card and you was banned for a game, normally in the Premier League, it will stand if you was to play in the Carabao Cup or if you was to play in the FA Cup, that you can just miss one of them games. But right now, I've been hearing this a lot, that is not really going to stand. So, to be honest, they are going to have to be cautious. But at the same time, I don't want them to be holding back. You get me? I don't want them to be letting people through or just having bad games due to being cautious. You know what I mean? If they're out, then we're just gonna have to do something about it. You get me? We're gonna have to have belief in the boys that come in and step up. You know what I'm saying? Look, when Saka got injured against Nottingham Forest, Reece Nelson stepped in, and what a performance he put in. Big up Wilson. Happy New Year, Premsy. Wilson in the house. Happy New Year to you as well. You get me? Hope everyone had a very good New Year. And, you know, hope you didn't get too pissed. You know what I'm saying? I think people are back at work tomorrow. So happy New Year to everybody. Big up Marcel, my brother. Premier League Unpacked is on at 8 o'clock tonight as well. Yeah, so make sure you're in the cut, Marcel. You get me? We're going to be speaking about your team, Liverpool. You know what I'm saying? Big up my brother Premsy. Take care of Newcastle for us. Look out for a brother in this hectic top race. Can't believe I'm depending on Arsenal for favours. This is what I'm saying. The tide has turned, people. Things have changed. You get me? Arsenal, top of the tree, 7 points clear, and rightly so. You get me? We've deserved it so far this season. You know, there's a lot of Arsenal fans with PTSD, myself included, that still think that is a possibility of a fall off because, you know, time and time again, we've seen Arsenal going on good runs and then slowly falling off. But I honestly do believe that times are a little bit different now. I honestly do believe that is not the same Arsenal that we once seen. I think Mikel Arteta has got a real grasp of this squad and they're all singing off the same hymn sheet. You get me? Even, like I said, Eddie Nketiah has stepped in for Gabriel Jesus, but yet he's emulating his play. He's emulating what Gabriel Jesus offers to Arsenal. And what we're forgetting is before the break, Gabriel Jesus wasn't really scoring much at all. Eddie Nketiah has stepped in and he's putting the goals in as well as doing everything else. So you've got to give him massive credit, man. Wilson, I can't understand why some Arsenal fans are so nervous about Newcastle 4. We need to back the team and slap the Maggies up. Come on, man. 100%, bro. We definitely need to be slapping these man up. Definitely need to be slapping them up. It'll send a statement out to the rest of the league as well. And like I said, it'll create a 12-point gap between us and third place, which is exactly what we need. And yeah, we have got a few tough fixtures coming up. But look at Tottenham. Tottenham ain't really in good fashion right about now. Antonio Conte, he looks like his team's in a mess. You get me? Kulusevski's out injured. Hopefully he's not back fit against the Arsenal because he is a dangerous player. But these men are just going down. You get me? They just got beat at home against Aston Villa. You get me? They didn't look like they wanted it. They didn't look like there's no fight in the team or they believe in what's actually happening over there. Harry Kane, he didn't have a touch for the first 20 minutes. You get me? So I don't think we need to be too worried. So it is what it is. Big up Christopher in the chat. You're all the way from Australia. Big up Premsy, man. Big up to yourself as well. I don't know what time it is over there, but I'm guessing it's gonna be late. Newcastle somehow scary, but I'm confident Arsenal win 2-1. To be fair, I was going to get onto predictions. Literally, that's my prediction for the game. I think Arsenal will win 2-1. You know, it wouldn't surprise me if he went on and won 3-1 or something like that, or even kept a clean sheet at home because, like I said, the Emirates has been a fortress. It's been absolutely unbelievable. And like I said, I'm making a bit of a sacrifice to try to make the channel grow and cut out a bit of the traveling as well because I'm not going to lie, it packs me in going week in, week out to the Emirates. It's like 4 hours there, 4 hours back is a bit of a mad thing, but I can't really do both at the same time, grow the channel and give you guys the content and watch alongs and be at the game myself. So I'm going to pick and choose which kind of games I go to. Probably the next game I'll go to is the United game at home because the Tottenham tickets, they're just mad to get hold of. You get me? Unless you're looking to pay 700 to a bag for them kind of tickets, you ain't going. It's a madness. Wilson predicting a 2-0 victory to Arsenal. Christopher says, I thought Trippier was supposed to miss the game through suspension, but apparently he's on 4 yellows, so he's good. Don't lie. Well, that's news to me. I'm hearing that he was out, to be honest with you, left, right, and centre. I didn't think he was going to be coming back in. If that's the case, that's going to be a big bonus for Newcastle. And to be fair to Newcastle, they are moving a bit smart. We've seen that they've recalled Bradker from Manchester United, so you can clearly see the seeing them and Manchester United as direct rivals. So they don't want to keep them strengthened in that kind of position. So they've called him back as well. So Newcastle are moving quite smart. But if that's the case, that would be quite gutting, really, because I've actually took Trippier out of my fantasy football team. To be fair, I took all the Newcastle guys out of my fantasy football team. It's all a mad thing. I'll be there, Premier League Unpacked. I'll be there trolling Bish. I haven't seen him in a while. You know what? Yeah, Bish needs it because towards the end of Premier League Unpacked, yeah, he was trying to give it to the Arsenal. You get me? You can see the City fans are getting worried about the mighty Gunners now, and rightly so. 7 points clear. And to be fair, you know, they're not going to have an easy test against United in their derby. I think we've got a much better chance of winning our derby against Tottenham away than what City have against United, because United are really stepping up in form. You get me? 3:43 a.m, bro. Big up. You get me? This is what you call a true gooner on YouTube, scrolling to see what the Arsenal news is. So big up to yourself, my brother. Wilson with a question. Do you think the title is Arsenal's to lose, Premsy? 100% is ours to lose. 100%. Even though I say, and I have been saying, Man City are favourites, and that's just due down to the strength of their squad and the know-how how to get over the title. When you're 7 points clear and you're in this position, you've really got to relish that. You really got to push on game and go and get the victories, because we have not been in this kind of position for such a long time. Now, this is where the board needs to step in. The owners need to step in and really give us some squad depth, because as we've seen against Brighton, as soon as Thomas Partey went off, you get me, as soon as Zinchenko, as soon as Ben White went off, we kind of faltered a bit. You get me? Brighton were all over us like a rash. So we clearly see the squad depth isn't right there right now. Although we have seen Emil Smith-Rowe training, which is a positive side. Whether we will be back for this Newcastle game or it would be too early, that's another question. But it would be good to see Emil Smith-Rowe back on the bench and get some game time, because we all know what quality he possesses. Emil Smith-Rowe is a top talent, and he just needs to try not to get injured. You get me? He's starting to become a little bit too much injury prone, and we need to try to just get him a good run of games into the team. You get me? What a player he is to just come off the bench and offer us something different. You get me? I think with Fabio Vieira, we'll probably see the best of him next season. I think him coming to the Premier League, he needs to bulk up. Also, he needs to get to terms with how the Premier League is, and, you know, not having too much time on the ball and stuff like that. But he has got a talent in him as well. So there is a few positive signs there within the squad. You know, at the centre-back position, we can rotate. We've got options. We've got Kieran Tierney, Zinchenko left-back. We've got Ben White, Tomiyasu right-back. Tomiyasu can also fill in at centre-back. Ben White can fill in at centre-back. So we are getting stronger. We are definitely getting stronger. But this January counts. And the positive signs from Arsenal is that we're trying to do shit early with the Mudryk deal, because it's going to be key. You get me? If we could get Modric in, say, just after the Newcastle game, so he's ready for Spurs, to be on the bench, ready for United, that's going to do wonders for the squad, wonders for the morale. You get me? It's going to even lift up the place even more, because everyone's been excited about Modric. Everybody has been excited about Modric. And whilst we're on Modric, yeah, we've got some crazy fans in this fan base. I'm not going to lie, yeah, absolute crazy fans. As we can see here, yeah, let me just take this comment off from Nico Pierre. These Arsenal fans are on a mad thing. You get me? Is Mudryk in the UK? It looks though he's in a hotel with slippers. The weight bench is Nketiah, which is a UK-based company. The private on the door is written in English. He may be in London already. And this is what this is what's going around right about now. You get me? There's reports, you know, as soon as a player's linked to Arsenal, the fan base is on a mad thing, tracking flights and all that. But me personally, I just wait until man are holding that shirt up. You get me? When man are holding that shirt up, I'll start believing it. But the signs are positive. We have David Ornstein as well today, touching on Arsenal are real contenders to go in for João Felix. And it's just about the wage. That might be a little bit of a stumbling block. But if we can go in and sign them two players, that will show real intent. That will show real intent for Arsenal to go and push on and win this title, because we ain't going to probably be in this kind of position for another long time. You got to think teams around us are going to start strengthening next season. Newcastle, they're going to already add to what they've got and be stronger. Man City, yeah, they've let a few players go this season, but they're only going to go on and push on and get stronger. United under Erik ten Hag are gathering form, and they look like they've got an idea and a plan which they haven't had for a very long time. I think Erik ten Hag's a good manager. You can see the system that he's playing at United, getting them victories out, even against who was they playing just then recently? Was it Wolves? Even against Wolves, you won't normally see United teams not really playing the best and still grinding the victory out. But against Wolves, they managed to do that. So you can see they are changing. The mentality is changing. The players like Casemiro that they brought in are stepping up and taking them to newer heights. and they're battling for that top 4 spot. It wouldn't surprise me if they go out and get that top 4 spot now, where at the start of the season, I wouldn't have given them a hope in hell. Liverpool, they look like they're finding some form again, even though I did think they got a little bit lucky against Aston Villa. They're starting to find their feet again. I think they're kicking off today at 5:30 or so against Brentford away. So that's going to be quite interesting to see. And hopefully Brentford could take some points off them as well, so we can just put them back in a corner. You get me, Marcel? There's all a mad thing. Evening, Premsy. Happy New Year, mate. Happy New Year to yourself as well. Hope you had a good one. Hope you had a blessed one, my bro, and many happy returns for the years to come. Let's see what Wilson's saying. I believe that Arsenal will beat Newcastle and Manchester United. Also, I feel that we'll get a 2-2 draw against Spurs. Nah, I don't want to have that kind of thoughts in my mind. You get me? Spurs are there for the taking. These guys are conceding 2 goals every single game, and they're just going down. They don't have an idea. In that first half of every single game, they're on a mad thing. I think they've conceded 10 times first so far in a row, which is mad. The pressure is on them. You get me? The big boys turning back up into town, yeah, and just doing a number on him. That would just put the nail in the coffin for me. So we got to be confident in these kind of games now. I don't want to see Arsenal fans not being confident. You get me? I understand that we haven't had a great record at Tottenham Stadium. I understand that, but times are different. You get me? We need to be looking at ourselves as a different outfit, putting some respect on our own name, because now pundits, everybody's actually looking at Arsenal thinking, you know what? We kind of made a little bit of a mistake there, trying to write them off too early, trying to say that they're going to fall off. Opposing fans, everyone's eating humble pie right about now, and rightly so. Premsy, we're not catching you, man. Why are you praying on man downfall? You know why? Yeah, because Liverpool fans chat too much shit, man. Not you personally, but your man comes across a lot of Liverpool fans, yeah, that are just on a mad thing. I'm telling you, fam, absolute mad thing. Do you think that is important that Arsenal maintain their distance from our rivals leading up to the Manchester City game on the 15th of February, Premsy? You know what it is, bro? We have to keep on the pace of things. We have to keep stepping on man's necks, you get me, and just trying to keep creating a bigger and bigger gap. But I'll be honest, I'm not that scared against Man City normally. When we play Man City, man's shitting myself. You get me? I'm thinking, ooh, this is not looking good. You get me? Every time Man City turn up to town, yeah, is about what kind of scoreline they're going to beat us by. But going off that last game last season on Boxing Day, we were the much better side than Man City. And this season, we're a lot more improved as a team. You get me? We're further along our development. And I feel like we'll give Man City real trouble, real problems. You get me? Hopefully, Gabriel Jesus is back by then as well. We haven't got a set return date for him, but hopefully he's back. So we can't really be too worried about Man City, even though they are a top team and we know what they're capable of, and Haaland's a machine. We've got to just focus on ourselves and have that confidence and belief in ourselves, because we are a good team. We're playing the best football in the league right about now. And I think any team are going to be worried playing Arsenal. You get me? Liverpool, mans are so bitter. They know Arsenal have taken their place. Yo, that's exactly what it is. You get me? Now Liverpool are just literally put down. Yes, Bola. You're telling me I see you in the chat there. I promise you, Prems, you'll be eating your words against City. Listen, fam, you's man of 7 points behind us. Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. You get me? Right about now, you focus on what yous need to do, because what we're doing something good. You get me? We can afford to have 2 losses and we're still above you. That is saying something. You get me? Put some respect on our name now, people. Put some respect on our name. I love it. I love it. Do you know when all the 5-0 fans are on you? You know something is brewing. You know something is brewing. You get me? I just want to touch on Martin Odegaard first of all, though, as well, because this guy has been an absolute revelation. You get me? 2 man of the match performances in a row. You get me? We see the quality that he possesses. Yeah, he had a little bit of a slow start to his Arsenal career, you know, a little bit of inconsistency, but now he's consistent. He's got that armband, and he's just playing like one of the best players in the league right about now. You get me? The guy is just relishing being at Arsenal. You can see he feels at home, something that he hasn't had throughout his career. Since he moved to Real Madrid at the age of 16 years old, he hasn't really had a proper home. He's been moving from pillar to post, but now the fans love him. He loves the place. You can see, and that is a player that is an absolute steal. £30 million we brought him for. £30 million, you get me? And he's repaying it back with 10 times more than what we paid for him, you get me? If we was to go on and sell a Martin Odegaard now, I'm telling you now, he's easy 80, 90 million he's getting sold for. But the boys are back in town, people, and get to live with it. City fans, Liverpool fans, United fans, every other fucking fan, get to live with it because we ain't falling off. We ain't falling off. You get me? I'm confident against Newcastle. Newcastle, I've had the bubble a little bit burst by Leeds at home as well at St. James's Park, which is no easy place to go. And they couldn't get the victory. So that just shows now that are these guys going to start having a little bit of a dip now? Are these guys going to start falling off a little bit? I think it might be that time, even though I have put them in my top 4. I think they're a lot better than the rest of the teams that are around them, a lot more consistent, a lot more well-drilled. So we're going to have to wait and see. But if, like I said, if we can create that 12-point gap, yeah, we're doing something right. We're doing something right. And that way, it takes a lot of pressure off as well. Big up to yourself, my bro, in the chat. I see you. Make sure all you man are tuning in at 8 o'clock for Premier League Unpacked. It's going to be a tasty one. You get me? We're going to be talking about, is Conte going to walk or is he going to get sacked because Tottenham are on serious pressure? We're going to talk about the title charge from Arsenal. We're going to talk about Liverpool regaining some confidence and Man United also going on winning runs as well. And Bish is going to be in the cut, Patrick and Guna Lee. So make sure you man support that. The stream will be getting put out very soon after this. I'll set up the stream for it for 8 o'clock. So make sure you go and hit the like on it before it kicks off just to help push the content out, people. But it's going to be a mad thing. It's going to be a mad thing. Premsy have his chest out. No, I remember last time you were having... But this is what football's about. You get me? I just want the best for my fucking team. You get me, bro? You get me? When things ain't going right, best believe man is going to be speaking out and telling them. You get me? Last season, yeah, when Arsenal was sitting in relegation position, yeah, man was at the Islington Hotel, Angel Hotel, yeah, and I seen the Arsenal boys, they stayed at the same hotel as me. And as they were coming out against Aston Villa at home, yeah, I told them, listen, if you ain't fit enough to wear that badge, do not wear it. You get me? Because at the end of the day, we're always going to be fans of our club. We're always going to be supporting our club. Players come, players go. We just want the best. And after suffering for 18 years, bro, you get me? You should know. I think it was like 30 years yous man didn't win the league for. Do you know what I'm saying? And when yous did win it, it was in COVID times, peak times for yous. You know what I'm saying, bro? So, yo, I'm telling you, I'm all with it, people. But look, this is coming to the end of the stream now, people. So obviously I have to get ready to set up for the next stream and stuff like that. I just wanted to do the preview live so I can get a bit more interaction with the people in the chat because the community is growing strong. And big up to everybody. Like I said, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Regular Arsenal content coming out, Premier League Unpacked every week. And there will be some new other bits and bobs coming on. We'll get the last couple ones in and then we'll wrap it up. If you watch the Newcastle game against Leeds, they really should have won. Their goalkeeper was good as well. Do you know what it is? I'm not really good at pronouncing people's names. Millier or whatever his name is. Quality was terrific in goal for Leeds. He got them a point. Yeah, but at the end of the day, you still got to put the ball in the back of the net. Do you know what I mean? Regardless if the goalkeepers are on job, if you create enough chances, you'll score. So you got to give Leeds credit. I do, because I think they've gone a little bit under the radar this season and they've been playing quite well. You know, that Rodrigo's looking like he's banging form as well. They've got a good crop of team, and I think that the new manager that they've got in as well, the American kid, my man's doing bits for him. So you got to give them credit. But look, when we have tests put to us, we're getting over the line. We're getting over the line. We're doing it. That's what we need to do tomorrow. We need to get over the line. Doesn't matter how we win that game. All we need to do is go and get them 3 points because, like I said, it's going to send a message out to the rest of the league. A lot of teams are scared of Newcastle. Don't get it twisted. A lot of teams are out here and they're shook off Newcastle. They don't want to play Newcastle. If we go and we beat Newcastle, every other team are going to be looking at it thinking, fucking hell, Arsenal ain't here to mess around. You get me? These man are really, really doing a number on people. Like I said, we've won 14 games, drew one and lost one. What an outstanding record this year. What a top 2022 it's been. You get me? And hopefully 2023, we can continue in the same fashion. If we can win that Premier League by the end of the year, I'm telling you, I'm going to do something mad. I'll probably shave my hair off or something. You get me? I'm going to do something mad if we win that Premier League. I'm telling you, I'm definitely going to be doing something mad. Leeds did us all a favour. Big up to them. Yo, I'm telling you, man, Newcastle are not fucking around, mate. Newcastle are here to stay. And with the amount of investment that they're going to be putting into the squad in recent years, yo, I'm telling you, Tottenham ain't even going to be in that top six anymore. You get me? Because everyone's got more money than Tottenham. And the way these men are falling off, unless they can give Antonio Conte some serious peas and let him bring in his players, it's not going to happen. It's really not going to happen for him. Big up to you, Premsy. We're winning this league. I'm just laughing until rival fans accept it. We just need to add to our squad. It's the most important thing that we do add to our squad, bro, because we can come unstuck very fast if we get a few injuries. You get me? Likewise for any team, you know, if City lose a Haaland or whatnot, but they've got a deeper squad. They've got players that they can bring on the bench and still make a difference. What I've seen in recent games with Arsenal, the only player that we could bring on off the bench is Fabio Vieira. And for me, he's still not ready for the league. Yeah, he's got quality in him, but he's still not ready for the league. Definitely not ready for the league. Willow, all I need is 3 points. I don't care how exactly that. This is what I'm saying. We just need to go and do our business, not really watch anyone else. Once our game's done, then go and see what everyone else is doing. But up until that game against Newcastle, you get up until them 90 minutes are up, let's just focus on our own performance and let's just hopefully go and get that victory. And I'm confident. I am confident in this game. Trust me. I just want to double check on that Trippier thing. Please, people in the chat, yeah, if you know when it's confirmed that Trippier is available for Newcastle, let me know in it, because I thought he was on 5. I thought he was missing the game. And to be honest, that's going to be a big boost for them. This is a must-win game for Arsenal against Newcastle. There are no excuses whatsoever, Premsy. No excuses. You get me? We have to go. We're at home. The crowd are going to be that 12th man. And this is a real 12th man that we've got now. A real 12th man. I'm telling you, the atmosphere has been unbelievable at Arsenal. And it's just quality. It's absolutely quality. Martinelli, Saka have stepped up to new heights. And you know what? I think Saka coming back from the World Cup, having the kind of form that he did in that World Cup, has done wonders for his confidence, because at the start of the season, yes, we wasn't really seeing the Saka that we normally used to see. We knew he could do better than what he was doing. Since he's come back, unbelievable. You get me? Scored every game so far. And the guy is just quality, man. The strength that Saka's got as well, I don't think people speak about it enough. You get me? His strength is top notch. Top notch. But people, we have come to the end of the stream now. So make sure you do smash a like on the video. You get me? Subscribe if you're new. And make sure you come back and tune in at 8 o'clock for Premier League Unpacked. It's going to be going off. You get me? Patrick's on the channel. Tottenham, man. He's going to be getting it in the neck. Best believe, yeah. And you know what? Yeah, me and Gooner Lee, 2 weeks ago now, yeah, me and him were having an Eddie Nketiah debate, yeah, and I was saying, yo, I haven't got the confidence in Eddie, and he was telling me, yo, Premsy, believe in Eddie, let him play with the first teamers and believe in Eddie, and I was saying, oh, we definitely need to go and get them signings. I still believe we do need to get them signings, but how right was Lee? You get me? How right was Gooner Lee? Because now I'm starting to look at Eddie Nketiah in a total different light. I'm big up to Eddie, because he's made us all think differently now, made us all think differently, barring a few. But yeah, man, Patrick's getting cooked. But like I said, peace and love, and we'll see you on the next one.